miracle is often denoted as an event attributed to divine intervention. It is beyond human nature. It is supernatural. We have many events that are of the supernatural right here in the Mount Canaan Baptist Church. Journey with us through miracles in Canaan.
Natoshia Jackson. I was going to a regular doctor's appointment to make sure that Sonari was okay. I was 8 months. I remember going into the doctor's office and everything being normal. I asked for a ultrasound because I hadn't had one in about 5 months or so. I asked for the doctor for the ultrasound, and once they did the ultrasound, she just kind of had a look on her face, and she said that I would probably have to go over to the high-risk doctor. So I asked what's wrong with her, and she said, well, something just kind of looks abnormal, but I'm gonna have the doctor come in and look to make sure we see the same thing. She never would tell me what was wrong with her. They sent me over to the high-risk doctor. Once we got there, they told me that she was underweight. She was only 2 pounds at the moment. The whole time I was pregnant with her, and they told me everything was fine. During the high-risk doctor's visit, they also told me that she had a multicystic kidney, which basically means that one of her kidneys didn't function at all. She was living off of this one kidney, and it was basically being overloaded. They sent me straight to Erlanger, thinking that they was gonna have to take her by C-section the same day. Once I got there, they didn't feel like it was necessarily time to take her. They wanted me to see if I could get to 36 weeks, which was about 3 to 4 weeks away at the time. I sat in the hospital for about 8 to 10 days, and I think it was on that 10th day I ended up having her by C-section. When she was born, she was 3 pounds and 2 ounces. They said that she would end up having to get a G-tube. Down the line, it was just like they were just saying so many things was this and that, and it was just so much negativity in the hospital, and it got to the point where you want to go see your baby, but at the same time, you don't. Just thinking that every time you go is something negative. She's not doing this, she's not doing that. So it's just every day going to the hospital, not wanting to leave because your baby's there, but at the same time, you still got to keep on with your regular life and take care of home and work and everything. Finally, the day came for her to get the G-tube. She went to get the G-tube surgery. Once in the surgery, she was fine going down. She was awake, no oxygen, no ventilator, no nothing. Once in the surgery, they went to give her the anesthesia, and they put the tube down the wrong way, down the wrong airway, and it poked her in the stomach and blew her stomach up with air. So So they had to immediately stop the surgery, and she had to go back to the NICU. They were thinking they were going to be able to do the surgery the next day once she passed her own, well, passed the air through on her own. It didn't happen. So they kept her intubated for about 3 to 4 days. And finally, once we get to asking the questions, well, why is she still intubated? And this is obviously not gonna happen anytime soon. She didn't need any help breathing or anything before this surgery. So why don't y'all take the tube out? So they agreed, and once they took the tube out, it was already too late. Her airways had already swollen around the tube because it was down for about 3 or 4 days. And basically, as soon as they took it out, they had to jam it right back in. Once she got the G-tube, she had just had the surgery for the G-tube, and 2 to 3 days later, she got RSV and pneumonia. So it's like from that, right after she got the RSV and pneumonia, right after she got over it, then came the trach. And then came the ventilator and oxygen. And now she's ventilator dependent. She's not dependent on the oxygen. At the beginning, I felt like, why me? Nobody in my family ever had a sick baby. Nobody that was close to me. So I kind of felt like, why did he choose me to go through all of this? Once I got into it and I couldn't turn to no one else, because you automatically get that feeling like you just want to keep everything to yourself because nobody else knows. Nobody else knows what you go through or what you have to deal with or what it's like to have a sick child. So at first it's kind of like a why me? It was really stressful. Nobody expects to go through that type of thing, especially with their first child. So I will say it was very hard to go through, but I would say she is a strong woman, and I don't think I could have made it through, but with God we can do all things. So as time went on, I just got in the Bible more, prayed more, got with the church people, and I just got them to just help me through it, just build my faith. And I knew that once I got to the point that I knew where once I built my faith, nothing could bring me down, and I'm just gonna keep going and going and going until she's healed. She's already healed, but until she's better physically. My husband, he's so supportive. It's his first sick baby too, but he also has other children, but he's there 100%. If I can't, he finds a way. And you think about all the people around you that don't have the father in their child's life, especially sick babies. They don't know how to deal with it. But through all those times that I was down, he was the only person that I could talk to, because we're going through it together. It's not just me and it's not just him, but we're together going through everything. I think I've always had faith, but I've never had it tested. So I knew that this was a test. Now it's already talk about her getting off of the ventilator within the next few months. So I know none of this would be able without God. He had his hand in it the whole time. And she's definitely better every day. She's doing new things and starting to learn how to crawl and sit up on her own and everything. She's just physically stronger. You can see that it's definitely turning around from where she was when she was first born. If I had any advice to give a mother who's going or who has went through the same thing or is going through the same thing, the number one thing is just to keep your faith and to keep going on, even those days where you feel like nothing is agreeing with you or everything is against you or everybody is against you. Just keep that faith. That's the only thing that's gonna get you through everything that's gonna come your way, because even though she's getting healthier, we still have milestones that we have to meet. So, I mean, you just have to keep the faith. That's number one.
It's just a blessing in itself just to see all that she's been through, and she truly is a fighter. And she's been through so much in her not even a year of life, and sometimes we find ourselves just so distraught over the things we're going through, and it's a child going through this type of thing, and she's still smiling and everything. So it's really inspirational.
We believe in miracles. My baby is a living miracle.
A miracle is often denoted as an event attributed to divine intervention. It is beyond human nature. It is supernatural.